Yes.
Wow, it's amazing. Actually, many persons have been asking about the story of what really happened to me when I was homeless for. It took about 6 months, but though that's not my first story of being homeless. Yeah, when I was in university, I was homeless for approximately 4 years or so because I actually did started my school with anatomy, started with human anatomy. Later on, I dropped out from school because of financial reasons. That's a story for another day. And then went back to philosophy. So I took a long time before I graduated from the University of Port Harcourt. Okay. This whole story about me being homeless, I was pastoring the church, and when I left the church, just I resigned at some point, and then um, I had to leave where I was staying, and because of financial reasons, the I couldn't pay for the rent. Of course, the landlord just got angry. Normally, I had rights because he was very, very confrontational. I should have said, okay, come on, sir, you give me because rent is expiring December. You want me out immediately January. It was too, you know, it was just too bad like that. But to avoid trouble, I had to just leave. And then I had a daughter, and my wife was also pregnant for my first son, was second child. And then during that period was quite a very trying moment. How did I get through this? That's what I want to share with you. One, in the course of this whole thing, we were now living in the sitting room of the young man, the family that accommodated us, very lovely young man. I won't forget, I'll mention his name here. He may not like it, Mr. Hart. Thank you. The guy and his wife were such lovely people. All my properties were kept into a particular uncompleted building. He paid for the space and kept it there. So we were now staying in the sitting room. And it was quite a very funny experience. One of the things I did was I need to give myself hope. So in giving myself hope, I gathered the children within the community, sorry, not the community, in the compound. I told them to be calling me millionaire. So wherever they call me millionaire, 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 I'll just put like 10 naira, 5 naira, spraying in the sky, and parents will be laughing. But why was I doing that? Because, you know, you can be in a cage, but your mind is not in that cage. That means there's a possibility to go out. Now, you can actually be free, but your mind is in a cage. It means finally your mind will drag your body back there. So I kept myself moving, and I was running a program for university students and training students as a life coach, teaching them for free for that. And that was when I was also doing my radio program on Nigeria Info, Saturday, then 2 o'clock with Joy. And each time I go there, I teach and tell people, come on, your life can be better. You can make it, you can do this, you can do that. You can see this picture now. There's a picture of me then. I was always talking, you can make it, everything is going to be like this. And I remember sometimes I'll be talking to people and say, you may not have paid your house rent, you may not have done this, it's better, you will definitely make it. People will call me and say, Great Sam, thank you. I remember one man who called me and said, Great Sam, thank you for programs like this, because some of us would have even committed suicide. I asked him, what's the problem, sir? He told me, oh, I'm a retired personnel, blah, 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 that he has a house of his own, he has this, he has his own car. In my mind, which kind of problem you now get? A man called me one time and said to me, Great Sam, I don't know what's happening to me. I just had about 10 million naira. I don't even know what I used the 10 million for. I had about 14 cars. Now I just have few cars in my parking lot. What's going on with me? I was like, woo. That the man doesn't know that his problem will be my testimony. Thinking about that, right? And you know what I did that every Sunday in the church? I would stand up to give testimony. Every singular Sunday. Meanwhile, everybody knows I'm squatting with this other brother in the church. But every Sunday, I would just come up and say, God is faithful, hallelujah. And I kept doing my seminars. I kept doing all those programs. Do you think it was tough? My wife couldn't go for antenatals. What do you call it? Yeah, we couldn't go for antenatals. We couldn't even afford the normal routine drugs, as cheap as they were. It was a trying moment. I remember sometimes I would just come back, my wife is in pain, she's crying. It got to a point that sometimes because of calcium, low calcium in her body, some of her fingers as if it will fall off, it will break, we put it back. Those conditions were very terrible. And we went through that thing. And I thought it's going to be one month, 2 months max, come on, I'll bounce back. 1 month became 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. And on the 6th month, this was what happened. Sometimes you need to be very, very uncomfortable. You know what God told, Isaac told Esau, say, when you no longer can bear it, you can break the yoke out of your brother the yoke of your brother off your own neck. That's when you're uncomfortable. On this Sunday service, a young man walked up to me. That's my host. He walked up to me and said to me that he's actually going to be relocating from the compound. His rent is due. He wants to move out so somewhere else. I said, okay, that's fine. And I talked with him. Maybe we can talk to the landlord to help me to stay for a while. And my wife cried that day. She said, no, we cannot stay here. She wept. I summoned up courage. This is what happened to me. That's my Sunday night. I prayed. In the Monday morning, I woke the people up for a devotion. I woke the family up. I sat them down. I said to them, see, I started sharing with them previous testimonies of breakthrough, how God has helped me. And I told them, I said, watch how God is going to make provisions for me this week. Watch it. And I want to bless every one of you for helping me. God bless you. God bless you. The man and his wife were just staring at me. My wife was just staring at me like, is this guy okay? Meanwhile, there's a particular man in the same compound who will walk up to me and tell me, do you know that this man is leaving? Are you aware that I'm about leaving? What's your plan? What's your plan? There's one small tiny cubicle room. Come and collect it. And I was like, no, thank you. I've heard you. I appreciate it. Thank you. You know, he will come again. Do you know that they're about to leave? I said, thank you, sir. He will come again. Do you know? You know, there are people like that. They're trying to be genuine, but somehow they are mocking you. But then see what played out. That week, I was frustrated, I was tired. And I remember teaching a topic on radio, mathematical approach to solving life problems. I said, I must apply this thing. I picked up my phone that day, and I was like, okay, what? I just called one man. I said, sir, how are you doing, sir? Oh, the man told me, oh, I'm no longer with the people I was working with. I said, oh boy. I called the next person, and then I used to teach in prisons. Can you imagine? I still go to prisons, Port Harcourt Maximum prisons, to teach for free. I teach prisoners, have time with them for free, and I come back. And then I said, sir, this man also lectures in the same institute. I lecture together in the prison, and it's free. And I called him. I said, sir, he was working with Shell, retired. He's a big man. So I called him. I said, sir, it's me, GreatSam. He said, hey, GreatSam, how are you? I said, fine. I said, what can I do for you to pay me? The man was like, I said, what can I do for you that you will pay me? The man said, I don't know, but I have this particular book I have worked on. And I said, that's your book now. We need to convert it to video. I started talking many things. The man said, come, let's see. And then I went there and met with the man, and he said, after I was finished talking, I told him, he said, how much? I told him 100,000. The man transferred the 100,000 to me. I said, Jesus, 100K. I was so happy. Meanwhile, I usually engage a particular house agent almost every week to be looking for house for almost 6 months. So the man will look for house and tell me, I've seen the place. I say, okay, I'm coming. I will not come. I'll come again. Check another place for me. You know what? See, if you have faith, you have to keep pushing your faith. Faith is not what you just leave. No. You have to consistently engage your faith. It's not enough to say, I believe. It's not enough to pray. If you don't walk, you don't act towards it, forget about it. You want to move the mountain, but you are still sitting down in the valley. Sorry. You have to face the mountain. Go to the mountain. Start with something. And then that was what happened to me. This particular day, I went to the man paid me 100,000. I got back home. I started bringing all my properties out. Started cleaning them up. I've not gotten the house yet. I told my wife, God is doing it. The family said they are leaving on Tuesday. Luckily, that Tuesday, they did not go. And I was arranging the house. But 100,000 wouldn't rent the house. The house I've seen, the minimum is about 250. The minimum. Then, some years ago, I went to do the man's house. Went to the man's house to do the video. I looked at his room, his sitting room. There was no light. I said, no, we have to use it outside your compound. Then when we went outside the compound, I saw the fence. I said, your fence is not fine. Give me paint. Let me paint it for you. That was when I became a professional painter. Hunger brings inspiration. I write it down. And then the next day, that was what happened to me. I bought some. It gave me about 5,000 naira. So I bought paint, and I started painting that wall. That wall, the picture you were saying, it was not that way. That picture that went viral, it wasn't that way. You understand me? That wall was rugged. You know, not even they just cemented it, not painted. I had to start. I scraped all the algae and the rest of them, and then I started working on that paint. And then I did that beautiful artwork. And then I took a picture. When the man came, he saw it. And luckily the man came when I finished. So he just shouted, wow, GreatSam, what's this? This is beautiful. I said, thank you, sir. He now said, what can I do for you? I said, give me money to complete my rent. He said, okay, how much? I made a mistake. He said, how much? I said, 100,000. Instead of me saying 150. He said, 100,000. He said, okay, give me your account again. He transferred the money. Oh my goodness, brother. Oh man, my head did me. I was walking out of the place that day, and instead of me to board the tricycle back home, I was almost trekking. I had to hold myself on the clothes. I said, Sam, enter vehicle, enter motor, enter motor, enter motor. I called my wife. I said, babe, when are we leaving this house? When are we leaving? And luckily that time I also did a particular seminar. People paid for that seminar. You know, I was doing a seminar and I was renting a big hotel, Grand Tokyo Hotel. If you know that hotel in Port Harcourt around Stadium, a big hotel. I was renting their room by faith to go and do a seminar. And luckily people now came and paid for the seminar. And that was how, guess what? The same day I was relocating from that house was the same day the same couples were leaving, coincidentally. And we left to our own house. And it was awesome. But that was not the end of the story. We paid the money to the house, put our properties. The day I brought my wife to show her the place was locked up. I said, what happened? I went to check the caretaker. He is no longer living in the compound again. He's packed everything, swept his house clean. Wow. The guy ran away with our money. The landlord started calling. I called the landlord. I said, see. The landlord says, it's not his business. You should go. I said, no, it is your business. Or it's your caretaker. I spoke with the community security, and after everything, landed up in the police station. And the DPO judged the case and said to me, and said to the landlord, go and look for your caretaker. This young man and his pregnant wife, where do you want them to go? You've heard the story. That's how we stayed in that house. You see, what does not kill you makes you strong. If you're going through any challenge right now, I don't know your own case, but you're strong. I've been homeless severally, especially in my school days, ridiculed, mocked, almost accused a thief. But then, keep hope alive. Whatever you're doing, just keep hope alive. Just keep hope alive. See, I'm not yet there. My name is D-GreatSam, but I'm not yet there. I'm coming up. You will hear of me. The world will hear of me. They will think of this video and say, oh, he said it. They will listen to me. Kings will call me for counsel. Companies will hire me for their services to come and counsel them. Many people, thousands and millions of people will listen to me preach and teach the gospel of Jesus. I am not small and I won't be small. Greatness is inside of me, and the same thing is inside of you. But the question is this: do you believe? Share this video for someone who needs that. And I pray for you. Be strong. But if you feel you need to talk to someone, kindly reach out to me. We can talk. Right?